Southern Tour Last Man Standing is a backyard style ultramarathon in which you run 4.167 miles an hour every hour on the hour. The race will continue until there's one person left. If you cannot make it back in time for the next hour to start, you'll be eliminated. The elimination can come through your mind giving up or your body.
Another joyless hill. 4, 3, 2, 1.
In 2021 actually was my first endurance event, so not even that long ago. It started with half Ironman, and even coming across that finish line, like, felt like I could still go, like I still had more to give. I had done these endurance events where I knew where the finish line was going to be. So 50-mile endurance race, I knew once I hit 50 miles, it was over, and I was going back. Ironman Wilmington, 70 miles, when it's over, it's over. Ironman, 140 miles, when it's over, you know, it's done. But I think the thing that intrigued me about this race was there's no set end, and in theory it can go until someone dies. It can go until multiple days if people continue to make the time cutoff. So I think that what was so intriguing to me is it becomes a matter of, is your body gonna fail, or is your mind gonna fail? There's 56 people who started this race. I don't think anyone who starts the race thinks of dropping out at any point in the first 3-4 hours. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's freezing cold. That's when the brain starts to creep in too, like, why am I out here? What's the point? Your bed is at home and it's like, you know, super comfortable, and that's when our brains are typically trained to want to sleep, is like through the night. So everything that sort of happens after that first 5 hours is when all those mental and physical breakdowns start to happen, is getting to a place where your brain is not used to being. That's, I think, when the fun begins. I think the top guys in this competition are Pretty legit.
How's your ankle doing?
It's better.
You got a minute, honey.
I think about mile 25, I rolled my ankle real bad and it swelled up. I was coming into the aid station with maybe 5 minutes to spare each time. And so on top of eating, I'm trying to ice my ankle and get some of that inflammation down. So when something like that happens so early in the race, you know, starting to deal with some hunger and nutrition issues, now having to sort of battle like a injury pretty early on in the race, like kind of messed with my psyche a little bit. And that's just kind of a pain that lasted the duration of the race for me.
You have the oranges?
30 seconds. He said the course is about 30 seconds. Chris, how'd it go out there, man?
My wife was at my aid station, and again, I find so much inspiration in her. Just being there, you know, like, and every hour that I would come back, and I could see she looks more and more exhausted from not having slept, and there's just no way I could have asked her to be out there.
You do your thing. I'll stay here. As long as you need me.
Do you feel tired?
No.
I wasn't gonna make the decision to come off, regardless of injury. That just started testing me a little bit earlier, having that little injury. Yeah, I said I wasn't gonna come off the course, so I did my best to just sort of black out and not think of it, but you know, the pain is always there. Body starts getting to those 50K, 50-mile numbers. It just naturally starts to break down. Those moments, I think it's super important to sort of remember why you do it. The goal is never, it's never a number. There was never a number in my head that I was gonna get to this mile and stop. Again, the goal was to push until I could no longer make the time. And so, regardless of what was going to happen, that's what I was going to do. That last loop, I kind of knew during it that I wasn't going to make it back for the next iteration. Sort of that disappointment or that initial thought that I'm done, my race is over, kind of hit. But I would say this is probably the best I felt crossing the finish line, because it was achievement of that goal of not pulling myself off the course. It was the course telling me you're no longer fit to be here, essentially, which ultimately was what I was trying to achieve. Push myself until I could no longer meet that standard. Coming across the finish line with Reese was, to me, very rewarding. When I think of Reese, my daughter, like, she might think like my dad dragged me all over the country to do these crazy races. Maybe when she grows up, eventually she'll see that her dad didn't give up, like, kept trying to explore new things and stretch my limits. Like, I wasn't about just earning an income and coming home and going to sleep and rinse and repeat. Like, I was constantly trying to stretch and build into that new potential and simultaneously show her that there's never a acceptable time to give up. You might have more obligations in your life, but if you have a passion for something, there's always time to pursue it, and you should never give up on yourself.